We go to the project hotline, capital update time. Welcome, my man, Len Fasano. Len, is this the last one? Is this it? It's not your last time surely on the show, and I'll never let you leave my life. I think I'm going to be a pain in your ass for years to come. But this is it, right? As the year winds down, so too does your time in Hartford.
This is it. What was sad is we really didn't have a session, so it wasn't crescendo, if you would, which typically is the way we handle retirees. But, I'm going to miss it. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the engaging of the issues. I'm going to miss doing things on the radio with you. Yep. You and I go way back to childhood days.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've known each other a really, really long time. And, your road was different than mine, but, your road is very, very impactful. And I just want to take a moment here and just say I, as well as thousands, if not tens of thousands of people, just really enjoy what you do on radio and the dedication you have to your beliefs in making the state better and pointing out the hypocrisies and the things that we need to straighten out to make a better state here in Connecticut. And all the listeners that tune in appreciate your dedication to the state of Connecticut.
I'll tell you, coming from Len Fasano, that moves me, Len. And I think a lot of people would be surprised, too, at how many laughs we've had. You're you come across as a no-nonsense guy, because I've been questioning people. They're like, hey, you've got a great relationship with him. He's so intense. And I'm like, look, we kind of come from the same place, like you just described right there, different roads. But believe me, there's a sense of he's an intense guy, but we have a lot of laughs. I think your sense of humor is lost on many Connecticut residents.
Well, sometimes I get caught up in the issues, but, you and I know each other at a different level.
Yeah.
And there's the professional sort of state senator level, but the role I get just into when we talk about issues. But there's a whole other side, as you and I know from a personal relationship that we've had. But I am going to miss it. And
I know.
I think the institution has done more for me than I've done for it. I have learned so much. It's made me a better person, I believe. And I can't thank the institution enough for teaching me. And I can't thank my district enough for giving me a dream come true, which is the ability to serve for so many years. And then to be leader of the Republican Senate was just a thrill of my life. I just can't thank the institution and all the people in the 34th District for their support throughout the years.
You said a couple of things there that I really relate to. Radio's been far better to me and for me than I've been to it or for it. I'm a decidedly different person because of it. And the people who listen to me, whether they want to or not, whether they yell at the radio or laugh at the radio, it changed my life. I can only be grateful. It's been a gift to me. I don't know what my life would have. So a lot of what you just said right there, it just really resonated with me and really moved me. It's an interesting way to look at what you do. I won't bother saying who this is who said it, because it'll lose how powerful this exchange is. But one of my favorite artists once said, "I've loved doing it more than it's loved me." And that always stuck with me, because I thought, you really feel that way? You're a very popular, art and successful artist, but basically saying, I've loved it more than it's loved me back. And I feel like you kind of just said the same thing, and I always identified with that thought process.
People say all the time, what's the greatest experience that you had in the Senate? What's your greatest accomplishments? And the answer is, it's what the institution did for me. And until you serve and until you really feel that, and no matter what profession it is, as you say, what you do on radio, the hundreds of thousands of listeners and then the group that call into you or stop you in the store and say, hey, that was pretty cool what you said the other day, because you have a way of taking issues and making it everyday common issues, common sense issues, and taking complicated issues and saying, this is illogical if you think about it this way. And that is very refreshing. And legislators, probably a lot of them won't admit it, particularly those who have different views than yours. They listen to you and they rethink their position or how they're going to say the position at the very least. So there is a significant impact. But if you could walk away, I always tell my kids that, look, if you love what you do, it's never work. Yeah. I hate the poor person who's going to wake up and say, I can't believe I got to go to work today, as opposed to those who really enjoy what they do and feel a sense of being at work, that it's good for them and makes them a better person. They're excited about going to work. Those who hate going to work, that's got to really be bad.
Oh, I remember thinking that very young, in my early 20s. You take one of those first jobs, and it was a 9-to-5 job, and I kind of knew, and no parent wants to hear, I don't think I'm sure you don't, I don't think I'm cut out for 9 to 5. Like, every parent recoils at hearing, oh, you're not, you're going to live at home forever. But I just knew this didn't fit for me, and I want to love what I do, and I'm fortunate enough to do it. I was driving in today and hazardous conditions, but excited to get here, excited to turn on this microphone, and grateful that I'm able to do it. Yeah. But Len, I can't have this celebratory exchange with you and this almost bittersweet exchange with you without at least asking you one question, getting one last biting commentary from me. Like I said, you're a friend of the show forever, but in your position, do you think February is going to roll around and the governor's going to be like, I still need we got to extend this. It still needs to be me beyond February. Even Marty Looney, I heard, said, no, we could get some other voices in here now.
I will say this. I honestly believe that, yes, he is going to want some powers.
Really?
I do believe that. The legislature is not going into session. Let's be clear. They are not going to have public hearings at the Capitol. They are not going to go into session. They've already decided that the way we're going to do this is by Zoom meetings, which, by the way, I think is a huge problem. If you're going to do the legislation by Zoom meetings, then you need to limit the amount of bills that you're going to do in committee, and you need to do only essential bills, not all this other stuff. You need to say, okay, this is about the economy, this is about public health, and that's it. That's the only thing we're going to do, and we're going to limit. But if you're going to do all these bills, bad bills are going to slip through. The reason why legislation takes so much time to get through, committee, then it sits on the calendar, and then it gets into the Senate, and it sits on the calendar in the House, because you're able to read it and get different points of view, and you say, you know what? This bill is a problem. But if you don't have voices looking at it from all different points of light, a bad bill with unintended consequences are going to happen. So do I think he's going to do that? My guess is yes. I think he's going to do that.
Wow.
I
really am surprised at that answer. I am. But I hear you. You're not saying it with certainty. You're like, I think he is going. You're not saying absolutely. But either way, I'm still surprised.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I heard the vaccinations now are going to the nursing homes today and the staff, and that's ahead of the schedule. That wasn't supposed to happen until towards the end of December, so that's being accelerated. And then there's another medicine, that virus that will be coming out soon, so that may change the landscape a bit. But, if you're going to say to the governor, we're taking your powers away, here's the problem, Vinny. We can't react fast. We can't. If we're not in the building, and you're not going to allow us in the building to do our business, something comes up. We can't move that fast to change it. If a crisis happens, I don't know what the crisis could be, but if a crisis happens, we've got to wait. If you're going to extend statute of limitations, if you're going to extend relief, whatever it is, if we can't get into the building, the ability for us to get a bill, have it go through the committee, then get it through both chambers, then get it signed, is at least, 4-week process, 3-week process.
That's a real insight.
With the governor being able to do with a stroke of the pen at our request, everybody agrees that it's a good idea. makes it go faster. So if you take the powers away from the governor, you got to be certain there's nothing that you need to do automatically, and that's the balance that has to be weighed.
That's just some real insight there. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you're also saying everybody to be on the same page and in agreement and capable of compromise, and that's just some really profound insight. Just a great exchange. Len Fasano, thanks so much for your years of service, for your kind words, for fighting for all of us. Enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas. We'll take a break and be right back. We'll take a break and be right back. We'll take a break and be right back.